Greetings everyone, I am Shakina the Neurodisruptor and I'm back again with another video on politics and prophecy with Shakina. This video is a response to Hamdi Farah. Hamdi Farah is Hali Farah's sister. I recently posted a video talking about Hali Farah and how she contributed to a nearly two decades long character assassination campaign against me by the Khan family. Okay, so for those who are not aware, I was abducted to the Republic of Kenya at the age of 15 years old. When I came back to Canada, I stayed with a legal guardian. They were a Muslim family. This legal guardian had two daughters, Farah Khan and Famida Khan, and her son, Walid Hadi. Walid Hadi began sexually abusing me when I was still underage, and he groomed me and held me as a sex slave well into my late teens. And it wasn't until I started getting, some sort of health care that I realized that the relationship that I was in, he convinced me we were in a relationship, was actually a human trafficking operation, right? So that was a devastating realization to come to. Now the thing is, a lot of Muslims hate me, and they hate me because I chose to live my own life in defiance of Islamic law, in defiance of Sharia law, right? In defiance of the Islamic political system, which I truly believe is highly ignorant and barbaric, and so I want nothing to do with Islamic law. On top of that, Islamic law is just plagiarized law from Judeo-Christian scriptures, right? So, at a very young age, I was very socially aware, and I was aware that Islam was bogus. So I walked away from it, though I did it secretly and didn't really, publicize it until I was in my mid to late 20s. And Muslims really hated me for it, right? And so they used me as a scapegoat. So Hali Farah is one of these Muslims who hated me. I have no idea why. To date, you can go and ask her if I've done anything to her, and she will have to tell you the truth that I have not done anything to her. In fact, when I found out that Hali was talking about me and gossiping about me, it was also the same time that I found out that she even existed, right? So I learned of her by learning things that she was saying about me. So she was kind of like a fan, or even paparazzi, I would say. She was somehow following me wherever I went, keeping tabs on my life, and then gossiping about me. And one of the things that she did is she joined Farah Khan and Famida Khan in their character assassination campaign, right? And basically supported them in spreading rumors about what really happened between me and Walid Hadi, which was that I was held as a sex slave and I was groomed from when I was a child. Walid Hadi had his eyes on me since I was 13 years old. That would have been 2 years before I moved in with them, and he admitted this to me. And yet they engaged in this character assassination campaign so that nobody would believe me when I came out to share my story, right? Hali Farah now works as an equity and inclusion specialist with the city of Toronto. And I find that the government of Canada loves hiring Mohammedan terrorists in order to continue to legitimize Islam. They also have this whole Islamophobia campaign going on, so they can continue to legitimize Islam in the eyes of the public so that Muslims can get away with some of the very barbaric and inhumane practices that are legislated within their religion, right? One of them being child marriage, which is why Walid thought it was completely okay for him to start sexualizing me at such a young age, because according to the Islamic paradigm, ideology, and political system, I was of childbearing age, right? I got my period. I, developed curves. And so I was ready to go off and get married. And especially because I didn't have any male protection. My father had abandoned me, my brothers abandoned me, so I didn't have any male protection, right? So according to the Islamic political system, it was open season where I was concerned. And Wali jumped in and took what he can. He took advantage of the fact that his mother was my legal guardian and that I was living with them at the time, and that I was severely traumatized and abandoned by my own family, right? Now, Hallie participated in spreading rumors about me and Walid, claiming that I disrespected the sanctity of the Khan family's home when I lived with them. Instead of living with them respectfully, I was engaging in sexual relations with their son, completely negating the very stark and vast power imbalance between me and her son, right? And Hallie spread rumors about it, and now she's working as the equity and inclusion specialist, claiming that she's done so much work to help Somali youth. Well, how about all the work that I've done to help Somali youth, Hallie? Right? How about all the work that I've done while Somalis demonized me, while Somalis threatened to sue me, while Somalis were gossiping about me and spreading false claims about me and my life and my family, and I was still helping Somali youth. I have a track record of helping Somali youth, right? So when I came out with this video, I got attacked by Hallie's army of Mohammedan imbeciles. Her cousin came after me. I can't remember his name, but I do know he has a massive forehead. And her sister, Hamdi Farah, also came after me and claimed that I'm obsessed with her family. Me, obsessed with the Farah family? Lest I remind you that I was the one who started the equity, diversity, and inclusion conversation in Hamilton. I was the one who gave that discourse any sort of political power. I was one of the activists who brought that discourse up to the provincial level, along with other activists in Toronto and in Ottawa, right? I didn't see Hallie doing any of that work. And then all of a sudden I find out she has a paid position in the city of Toronto as an equity and inclusion specialist. And you're claiming, and all the work I did was voluntary. She's getting paid at the city of Toronto to do this work. Yet she had no part of raising this discourse to the provincial level where it would even make a position like that relevant on a state, on a government level, right? She had no part in that. I was the one who did that. So is it me that's obsessed with you guys, or was she chasing my light? Because I know that, 10 years before, Hallie didn't have any ambitions to be an equity and inclusion specialist, right? She pursued that after I made the conversation popular as part of her chasing my light, which she had been chasing ever since we were much younger, right? Your cousin who came to me claimed that I wanted to be you, Hallie. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Me wanting to be you. There is nothing that you have, absolutely nothing whatsoever that could generate envy in me. There is nothing that you have that can hold a candle to anything that I have. Nothing. Your intelligence level doesn't compare to mine, right? Your physical appearance doesn't compare to mine. Your family name. I'm from an ancient royal bloodline. Who the hell are you? What is Farah? I'm an Al-Hatimy and an Al-Hatimy. This is Judeo-Christian royalty and Islamic Sufi nobility that I am a descendant of. Every single era, every generation that my family has, graced this planet, they have done something extraordinary, something legendary, to basically seal their name, seal their legacy on this planet. That's where I come from. And you are claiming that I want to be Halle? Wow. Wow. Okay. So is it me that wants to be Halle, or is it Halle that wants to be me, given that she, spent nearly over a decade spreading false rumors about me when she didn't even know who I was? Let me remind you, I didn't know who Halle was until I heard about her gossiping about me. That's how I learned who Halle was. Usually when you gossip about somebody, it's because you're jealous. And if you're so jealous of somebody that you want to hurt them, it's because you actually want to be them. And you want to project the image that you know you are on them so that you can steal their light. And that's why she engaged in gossiping about me and destroyed my reputation within the Muslim community. Right? And Hamdi, you claim that I'm obsessed with you guys. Lest I remind you that you tried to shove yourself down my brother's pants, right? My brother's actually all 5 of my brothers are extremely handsome. The shortest one is 6 foot. They're all very handsome men, right? So I'm not surprised that any woman, would want them that badly. But for you to shove yourself down my brother's pants and then my brother to reject you because you look like a Somali Neanderthal, right? He said you look like an inbred, so there's no way that he was going to do anything sexual with you, right? And then you want to come a few years later, not to mention that he was dating your cousin, who, by the way, is way hotter than you are, right? Way hotter. So he was dating your cousin at the time that you tried to make out with him. And I get that Somalis are incestuous, so this was normal for you, but my brother didn't find that normal, right? Because my parents, they're not cousins, or they're not siblings, right? Like Ilhan Omar and her brother, right? Or the way you Muslims like to marry off your first cousins. My parents are not first cousins. They're from 2 completely different clans, right? So my brother, he's not into that incestuous stuff that Somalis are into. So he pushed you off, right? And then you want to come a few years later and claim that his sister is obsessed with you guys. You guys are all extremely delusional, right? And I understand it's part of being a Mohammedan follower, part of being delusional, right? I mean, if you think about it, your whole religion is plagiarized. Your whole religion is just basically a combination of plagiarized, stolen Judeo-Christian law and paganism, Arab paganism, right? And then your uneducated, illiterate prophet, who's also a pedophile, he just slapped together a whole bunch of laws, right? A whole bunch of traditions, and then called it Islam. And this is what you guys have been following for centuries now. So I'm not surprised that you're delusional. But in saying that, we're not going to allow your delusions to continue to run rampant here in the West. We're going to call you guys out for being barbarians, right? And hopefully that'll wake you up and you'll be, more encouraged to pursue a civilized life. All right? And yeah, that's it for today. It was just a retort video to the Farah family, right? Oh, and shall I mention Abdi Farah, right? And how he threatened to chase me out of the country when I first started talking about domestic violence in the Muslim community, right? So I have a long history full of evidence showing that the Farah family is obsessed with me and my family and not the other way around, okay? And that was it. It was just to put that truth out there, that it's the Farah family that's obsessed with the Al-Hatimy family, not the other way around. And again, I'm not surprised because bugs gravitate towards light. So I'm not surprised that the Farah family is one of the families of Mohammedan vermin that are gravitating towards the Al-Hatimy clan as it's birthing a new era of itself here in the West. Something the Farah family will never be able to do. All right? Until next time, stay awake and aware.